We'll start with an easy one. What is a trophy?
Oh, tough one. It's a good question, but we've never been asked it, and it's so fucking obvious. I'm not allowed to swear. Okay, sorry. That's a perfect question. It's another answer. Well, I know what isn't a trophy, maybe more than what.
Taking to the podium, David Hill, David Coulthard, a glorious day for Mika Hakkinen, Eddie Irvine, Michael Schumacher for 3 years in a row at Albert Park. David Coulthard returns. A grand win for John Farley. Fernando Alonso takes to the podium. Lewis Hamilton wins 1 year after his debut. Jenson Button with an outstanding race, punching back on top of the Australian podium.
Sebastian Vettel wins from Hamilton. Button had run away with it for the third time in Melbourne.
Kimi Raikkonen presenting the podium.
Well done to Lewis. Yes, sir. The winning constructor, Mercedes-AMG Petronas. Sebastian Vettel starts off 2017 by winning the Australian Grand Prix. Ferrari on top, down under. But our winner today is Valtteri Bottas. Charles Leclerc takes the fastest lap of the race and wins.
For the first time in his Formula One career, Max Verstappen wins the Australian Grand Prix.
And I always said the best trophy in the world was the ladies' singles at Wimbledon. You instantly know it. And for a trophy to work on the presentation, it only has a couple of seconds, so it's got to be held correctly. I don't think I've ever seen a cup design being held correctly on a podium. So I thought, technically, let's just nail this 3 or 4 seconds, and then when we get that right, then we can go back to telling a story about the event.
The Formula One Australian Grand Prix will be on the grid in Melbourne in 1997.
I think it is, as I say, the most exciting thing that's happened in the last 14 months.
We had done work for Jeff Kennett, and he knew the quality of our work. When Melbourne won the rights to the Grand Prix, I approached him to say, I think you need an image, and maybe a trophy is a good image to have as a PR thing for the next 3 years or whatever that time frame was. He was talking to Ron Walker, and very close to the event, we were rung one night by the chairman's secretary to say he wanted to see us the following morning in Melbourne with our designs. I said, I'm not doing a cup, just cups just don't work. And Ron Walker said, good, because I was going to say cups don't work, so let's not do a cup. And I thought, no, we're on the same page. And then he said, what information do I need to give you or tell you to do? And I said, nothing, zero. That's the end of it. It's my job now to go away and design it. I remember I just got in the car and drove down the pub with some pencil and paper, having a love of motor cars and motorbikes. You know about that stuff, so it's ticking over in your head, trying to link back to Australian motorsport. We didn't have to go far with Sir Jack Brabham, which we'd grown up with. I found his car that he raced at Albert Park, Cooper Climax, and I was looking through the car, I spotted the steering wheel, and I thought, that's of the period, that timber laminate. And so I drew that as an outside room you would hold, and it tied in with the ladies' singles trophy. This one, into the pub. That was sort of the slightly refined one, but that was the pub one. Size same as 1958 Cooper. Then I thought, well, we have to make it modern as well to tell the story, so I thought we'll use a carbon fibre back to it as a dish. And on the front, that was the original one was the lake with the track around it, and we set Argyle diamonds as the Southern Cross reflecting off it. And we used Australian gum leaves instead of laurel leaves as the decoration on that. So it kept having layers of a story that you could tell people. You do the winning constructor, and that's a different layout. We made that quite different.
Yeah, as well. There are some elements to it that require specialist skills. The timber work, the carbon fibre. The rest of it is what we can achieve here in this workroom. The casting, the gum leaf garland around the centrepiece. Then it'll all be connected through threaded sections and so forth in the middle. Sort of just all comes together like concertina. Then the trophy is separated. Pieces will then get sent off to get silver or gold plated depending on the position on the trophy. The carbon fibre will go down to a car repair place in Kyneton. They will do the gloss finish to the carbon fibre. And then the most nerve-wracking part is putting it all back together again, because you can't afford to scratch it, and that may well take the best part of the day, just putting it back together. And that's a beautiful part of the day, it really is. What we like to pride ourselves on is the fact that it's a material piece that carries that indication of how much the recipient has put in to deserve a piece of that quality.
Before our father passed away, I was doing architecture, just finishing that off, and my brother was doing science. So we're off in different careers. So that training was incredibly important. To do some final polishing on it. But Dad's business and Mum's had changed from originally from jewellery to church work to corporate gifts to international work. So it had all these changes and trophies, as I sort of thought, well, I enjoy doing church work, and the other church in Australia is sport. So it's a pretty simple leap of faith to let's go into that. It's a small world in the sports sort of world. Everyone knows everyone, and we've never had any advertising at all. We did a lot of work for the ICC, some very major pieces for them. We did one for the Korean Open for the PGA, a lovely trophy, and we were rather chuffed to hear that. I said, how did you find us? Because that's really weird. Two brothers in Kyneton, you know, the Korean PGA. They said they contacted the American PGA, who we had done work for and do work for. And they said, oh, in that case, we would go to Tiffany's in New York or Flynn's in Australia. And as I said, well, I'm chuffed with the quote. I don't need the job after that, I'll keep the quote. But the only trophy that actually isn't our design, but we did agree to do replicas for them, is the President's Cup. And we have made 4 or 5 of them now. They've got a great culture, lovely to deal with. And that's a pretty prestigious piece to be made in central Victoria, Australia. Never been made outside of America in its life, so once again, it's a nice thing to be part of.